Hello, today I'm going to be reviewing this Shark Professional Steam Mop. I've had this for about a year and a half now, and so I'll go over the pros and cons of this as well as any secret tips that I've learned during that time. So first of all, I'll start with the cord. This has a really long cable, and so for me, I'm actually able to steam most of my house with this cable. I only have this, this isn't a real hardwood, it's like a laminate, and I'm able to do, my entire downstairs with this. So it's really nice. Obviously, you could tell that I'm having struggles with the cord, and that kind of happens with the long cord. So it's kind of a pro, it's kind of a con. You don't have the grounding, so just make sure that you plug it in correctly. Once it's on, so you'll see that it's kind of flashing here. That tells you that it's on. What I like to do is I like to turn it on to the mop setting, and then that'll allow this to start getting wet. So I'm not going to mop initially because, as you see, if I start doing that, there's no water yet. It hasn't saturated the mop, this little cloth thing yet, the mop pad. So what I do is I let it sit there for a bit. I set it on the mop setting because that's the high setting. Once I see that it's gone for a little bit, what I'll do is I'll switch it to the dust setting, and then that's what I'll do the floor on. So when you press it again, you saw it turned off. It just cycles through them. So while that's working, I'll show some of the rest of the stuff. The handle is really comfortable. It fits nice in my hand. I like this little thing here. I don't ever take it out because that just holds the cable out of my way. I showed this where it just kind of twists, but here's the main thing. So that's where you fill the water, is in the back. You just unscrew this cap, pour the water in, and then you can see where it is at the time. I like this method over some of the other steam mops that I've had in the past where you like pull out a little container for the water, because what I found is when I'm pulling them out, they'll drip because they have usually like a little plunger mechanism where you push it in, and then that isn't like fully watertight, and so when I'm pulling it out, some water will drip and it'll get on the floor, it'll make a mess. Those are easier to fill than this, because this, this is with the whole unit, right? And so it's harder to get this in the sink. So it is a trade-off, right? This, I don't spill water everywhere, but it's harder to fill. All right, so let's see. So enough time has passed because unfortunately I switched it back to the dust, so it took a little longer than normal. Usually it doesn't take this long. What I do is I'll usually start in the bathroom down the hall here because it's a smaller room and we have carpets on the floor, so the hardwood itself doesn't actually get dirty, but I'll steam it anyways, and that way as the mop pad is getting saturated with the water while it's getting wet, I'm cleaning probably the cleanest floors that don't get touched most often because it's always under a rug. So that's kind of my strategy, because you could see here there is a little bit of water coming out. You can kind of see it right here, that water line, but it's not a lot yet, so this isn't doing the full cleaning duty yet. My daughter was playing with some bubbles earlier, so you could see the stains here. So that's my intention, is to clean that right now. Typically, I steam clean maybe once or twice a month. I don't do it religiously on a set schedule, but whenever I feel like maybe the dog has tracked in some dirt or something like that, that's when I'll do it. I try to do it at least once a month to keep the hardwoods kind of clean. And then another secret tip is you want to vacuum before you do that, right? So I'm not really sure what that is, but if you vacuum, what it'll do is it will prevent extra dirt from getting on the bottom of this cloth, and so that'll help you be more effective in your steam cleaning. The other thing I like about this is it doesn't require like a shampoo or some kind of cleaning solution, because that saves a cost on constantly buying some kind of cleaning solution. Now you can, if you want, buy some kind of soap or detergent and put it on the pad if you need to do an extra bit of cleaning. But because I do this regularly enough, for me, the steam is enough. The product says that the steam in a lab setting can kill 99% of germs, so that's their claim. Obviously, I have no way of verifying that. But yeah, this is really light. It moves really easily. I feel like now that it's on video, it's not getting the water out as much, and it might be because I didn't pre-soak it. So that is just like a little tip there, is to leave it on the mop setting, so that lowest setting. Leave it on there for like 2-3 minutes when it's warming up so that the whole pad gets saturated, and then you can mop. So I did it a little bit earlier than that because I was doing it live, and it's not very entertaining, I guess. So what I do with these pads is I actually have 2 of them, and I'll usually clean the floor twice. So I'll mop one time and I'll keep the pad on. I'll mop a second time and then I'll take the pad and I'll throw it in the laundry room. I'll just put it in a pile and then I'll put on the new pad. I'll use that twice. And then when I have both of them, I'll wash them in the washing machine. So they're washing machine safe. So it makes it a little bit easier. So that is another thing. If you can get a second pad, I recommend it just because it's gonna save you in the long term. So this is one thing I forgot to mention is this kind of has like a nice degree of movement. It's kind of hard to see, but it does lock here into this 90 degree. And then if I need to go under a small area like this, my vacuum can't fully get under there. So you can see there's still some dirt under there, but this can easily get down there. So that is another nice thing. So it is nice to vacuum beforehand, but what'll happen is this will clean up the rest of the stuff that you didn't get. And so let's go ahead and turn this off now. When I touch it, it is warm, right? Because it is steam. You can kind of see some of that steam coming off. You do want to be careful because steam is obviously like 212 degrees Fahrenheit, 100 Celsius, so it's pretty hot. You can see just from this small area, it was quite effective. The nice thing is too, you could take this off and you could put it on the other side. So these are reversible. So I usually do one on one side, flip it, do the other side, and then I throw it in the wash, if that wasn't clear from my explanation earlier. So anyways, this is a really great product. It does a good job of cleaning. I'll probably go clean the rest of the floor now. But I hope this was helpful, and thank you for watching.